I would say the biggest takeaway is really what the speakers gave, like those who are actively trading. They help illuminate what a retail investor can do and what institutional investor would do like differently. So in a way, it helps you define the scope of what a retail investor could do, rather than just trying to chase what institutions do and then you realize you can't scale towards that point. I guess that's the biggest takeaway once again in terms of what is manageable for the individual trader. My name is Ernest. I'm with Finexis, which is an independent advisory in Singapore. So actually I do portfolio management for a living, but also help to ensure people's tail risk for personal and businesses as well. My hobby would actually be aquascaping. So I don't know, like managing systems and making sure like there's some kind of outcome, like the plants grow well and stuff. So I guess similar to like designing a system and infrastructure and trying to get it to auto run, similar to how EPAT is like. I would say it's mostly driven by my friend. Like I have a friend who's like a portfolio manager in East Spring, but before he went there, he took like a sabbatical, and then he took this course and he really liked it a lot. Then he recommended it to me because it feels like that's where you really learn how to create strategies, to backtest them, to bootstrap them, and really to have them, I guess, like free running while you're focused on other things. So it takes out like the manual aspect of things, I would say. So actually it's really just through my friend. He's also from science, Bachelor of Science background. It was more like there was some time on hand, and I guess it offers a perspective into how active traders really work and run strategies. For myself, I've always been more of a passive strategy sort of guy, like ETF, unit trust. So this was quite a huge eye-opener because it was just really using very traditional financial instruments, but yet they were able to craft something that was way better than like your typical unit trust or like ETF, like a managed strategy whereby you can really just, I guess, extract alpha. I didn't really shop around, and at that time there was COVID, right? So there was that IVF scheme that fortunately gave like a 90% subsidy. So it was very attractive the offer, because it was highly subsidized and you really get the insight into how the big players do it. I guess the cost was pretty okay because it was mostly on weekends, right? So there was definitely time to set aside and do. Assignment wise, it wasn't very time consuming, I would say, because it was spaced out quite well. I think it was the time allocated for this course was like just right. Like it wasn't very time consuming. Yeah, I would say the challenge is to learn programming from scratch for people who didn't have programming background. The unfortunate way to put it is I just kind of brute force my way through everything. So I guess Google and full stacks help a lot, like as a like a Q&A place to find out things that I don't know. But rather than like going very into programming and trying to learn like all the different concepts, I just focus on the concepts in EPAT, and I would say just use a very long, tedious way of completing the assignments whereby just brute force programming rather than like doing like for loops or coming up with some kind of a list. During the course, there's more of I would say trying to grasp what is manageable and what is completely I wouldn't say unattainable, but like what will require more time to not focus on that, but what is manageable to just like focus on those. So like Like it's just like Python, backtesting, that's doable. But to like know all the different like math lab and all the different like IBKR platforms, like how to communicate with the API and like take out like make the operational aspect less manual. Those were like way beyond me, so like I didn't focus on those. So I would say the best way is to actually focus on what is more doable in terms of backtesting rather than like the executional part. I guess before I joined, what I was hoping for is I can just like automate, like learn how to pick up on trading strategies and then subsequently how to automate them. But in the end, what ultimately happened was I was just very focused on learning the programming aspect, and I was very intrigued by how a lot of things can be like automated, like how data can be extracted, how Python in terms of data structure is very different from how Excel runs it. So in the end, I got more drawn into the programming element rather than the strategy-based stuff. Yeah. So actually moving forward, what I do with my EPAT knowledge is I'm hoping to learn how to automate more things rather than solely focus on like active trading strategies. Yeah, because the automation aspect, I guess is what like attracted me to EPAT in the first place. I would say the biggest takeaway is really what the speakers gave, like those who are actively trading. They help illuminate what a retail investor can do and what institutional investor would do like differently. So in a way, it helps you define the scope of what a retail investor could do, rather than just trying to chase what institutions do and then you realize you can't scale towards that point. I guess that's the biggest takeaway once again in terms of what is manageable for the individual trader. But I have referred back to the like past lectures. But what's special is that rather than be looking at the old lectures which I attended, I'm actually looking at the recorded lectures of the latest batch. So I guess in a way that it's like you get to get updated curriculum, which is good. I guess what my message would be is that they shouldn't be daunted by the programming element, because it seems like all the big players as well, they have quite limited programming knowledge, so it can really be picked up. Like you just need to pick up what's necessary to actually run your own strategy. And in terms of I would guess like for people who maybe there are people who are more shut off because like their investment strategy isn't doing well, so it's actually quite a good area for people who, whether they're profitable or not profitable, to actually join the program, because it might help them streamline or learn a different way of creating strategies. And for people who are already profitable, it might help them refine the strategy better so it's like more robust, because they could be successful without knowing like the potential pitfall, but this program help them squeeze out the potential pitfalls in the future so that they can actually just avoid it. So I guess this would really just be for everybody, like whether you're profitable or not, whether you have programming background or not. I think this is something most people who, as long as they have an interest in wanting to trade, actually can benefit off this. Yeah.